It's TK Irish at the Camp Kennerk podcast. It's Sunday. It's sports. It's baseball. It's Fort Wayne Tin Caps and everything else that lives in the dreams of minor league baseball. You know, everybody thinks it's just the players that have the dreams, wants, and desires to make it to the show. But one thing we failed to talk about is the technology that makes it through the minor league system as a guinea pig, you might want to say. And of course, right now, the big hoopla in Major League Baseball is what they call automatic ball strike. That's ABS. And everybody's up in arms. And the reason why is that when you have an ABS system in place, that means that the baseball is tracked by a computer. So it's going to tell everybody in the team about the balls and the strikes. So if a pitcher throws a ball and he thinks it's a strike, he could what do we say? Get upset by it. It just tap his head, and then it goes to the computer and says whether the umpire was right or not. But see, all this started in the minor league baseball, like the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. So let's just sort of take a trip down memory lane to see what type of other technology has come through the minor leagues that eventually made it to the big leagues because of all the things that has worked out. And one of the things that happened in the last couple of years is the pitch clock. For years there was no time limit for a pitcher to pitch after he gets the ball back from the catcher. He could step on the rubber, he could throw it to the first baseman, they could go back and forth, and that really slowed down the game. So they implemented a pitch clock, and it's really had sped up the game. It makes it a lot more enjoyable to watch because there's not so much what we call delays. Now, so we also have back in 2018, we'll go back to the ball tracking system or the ABS, and say, it took quite a while for them to move it through from the minor leagues up to the triple A's, but they figured it out and they've got it in place now, which is great. They defensive shifts, at one point, players could move around the field all they wanted. And it got to the point where, a batter would come up and they would have four people down the second baseline to try to stop the batter from hitting the ball over there. So they worked on that in the minor leagues and they brought it up to the technology levels. And here's one we never even think about: size of the bases. Back in 2021, they increased the size of the bases that's used on the fields from 15 inches to 18 inches. And you say, well, what's that all about? Well, it's safety. It has to do with safety, that when the player rounds the base, the target's a little bit bigger, maybe less injuries when twisting an ankle or sliding into the base. So, there's all types of crazy things that they do. They have a lot of other things in play right now that they're testing, like how many times can a pitcher throw to the first base to try to pick someone off, the shift restriction, larger bases. So, Doug the neighbor, as we have it today, we think minor league baseball is just all about the players, but it's also the technology that they work on in the game to make sure everything's moving in the right direction. So shorter games, more action, and more fun for everybody. What do you think about that larger base concept?
Oh.
Douglas, what the hell are you doing?
DK. We're in the middle of our 75th podcast. I got a box of Cracker Box popcorn from our pal Maxine. Remember, we did a podcast with her. She's a happy camper. And
Yeah.
she was kind enough to send me a box of Cracker Box popcorn, and it is really, really good.
Yeah, she sent me some as well, and she has told me that she is actually making a special popcorn just for the Camp Kennerk podcast and going to be selling it in their brick and mortar stores. And
Oh,
it's
that's
going to be
beautiful. That's beautiful. And she sent me a card And she
Yes.
said, "Thank you for everything. Love the song. It is epic." Because remember, we did a short video of me singing, it's my
Yes.
party and I'll pop if I want to. She loves it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. She's got a great sense of humor.
Oh, we love her. And great popcorn that goes with my Gojo. Have you got some Joe there? Hmm.
Got my liquid confidence right here.
Hmm. Okay, let me put everything aside here. We'll get to it later. Now I've got my Austin snow globe here, so let's shake it and see what pops on out. Okay, today is our 75th podcast, and today is a sports show, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, but first off, let's talk about some basketball. We are in the middle of the Final Four, and UConn beat who'd they beat yesterday? Geez, I forgot.
Illinois.
Illinois, and then Michigan beat Arizona. Now I had Duke and I had Arizona in the final two. Duke is out, now Arizona's out, so I'm toast. I'm completely toast. Okay. So, but I do have a lot of neighbors who are UConn uh, Husky fans, and they will never let me forget it.
Of course they won't. You know, you guys have got a great history in basketball.
Yes, yes.
And they really do, both men's and women's.
Women's, yes, yes. Okay.
And
Wasn't it
so,
1 year that men's champs and women's champs?
I mean, I know that the women's was in the Final Four here, just in the last week. I don't remember if they won or not, but I don't think they did. But yeah, both men's and women's get to the Final Four all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let's move on to our baseball. Okay. All right. The Texas Rangers, the season is open. They're now 4-4. They're at home and they're playing Cincinnati. They have a getaway game today against Cincinnati, and then they move on. All right. But we are here to study and appreciate the minor leagues because that's where hope lives to move on to the show. Hope lives with those young guys uh, who move on to the major leagues. And your comment and editorial there concerning baseball and the evolution of it, now moving into the technological aspect of baseball, is very, very pointed, and it's what is coming. We have to have it because of the problems with, let's say, injuries at first base because the base was too small, okay? Or rounding second base and third base, and you get your spike caught in it. So if it's bigger, it's easier to hit, and then you won't be injured. Also, the aspect of the pitch clock. Games were the biggest problem was the games were lasting 2, 3 hours. When in the old days, and back in the 50s and 60s, games were lasting under 2 hours. Then they were stretching to 3 hours, and so it was just too boring. That's where you lose an audience when it's boring.
Yeah, I mean, it really was ridiculous, because the batters would take, 30 seconds between pitches. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but when you have, 9 innings, maybe 40 batters coming up to the plate for one team, that 30-second adds up real fast.
Real fast, real fast. So that sort of aspect of the pitch clock, and then the ABS concerning the radar on the strike zone. You remember how on TV, as the audience, we could see the strike zone, and then the ball would come on in, and the umpire would say strike. We're looking 1,500 miles away, going, that wasn't even close.
Yes. Well, I find interesting is that people are up in arms that the umpires are missing calls. Well, I'm sure down in the minor leagues where they tested it, they saw that as well, that umpires are not perfect.
Right.
But now since it's in the big leagues, everybody's going, oh my gosh, he missed 9 pitches. Oh my gosh, that could have turned the game around. Well, duh.
Duh. So We're smart guys, or we tell the girls we're smart. Uh, the future, if once the ABS is implemented and it gets to a point where it's, they can live with the challenges, they can live with the procedure. What is next? What do you think could be next?
Well, it's funny you say that because what they're working on now is the check swing challenge. As you know, that when a batter starts to swing and then he stops it, uh, it could be called a strike if it goes to a certain part of the plate, or it can be called a ball because he caught it sooner. So now they're working on the technology of following the bat to see if it really did break the plane, is what they call, to make it accurate. Because right now it's just a judgment call, and they're just trying to take that out of there. Uh, Another one was that they were thinking about moving the pitching rubber back 1 foot, just to they're not moving the mound, they just want to move the pitching rubber back down the mound. For some reason, I haven't figured that one out yet, but I'm sure they got some illogical, logical reason to get that taken care of.
And of course, these are just ideas that are looked at by a panel of baseball people. Say, well, what if we do this? What if we
Yeah,
do that? What if we
yeah.
do that? And that's only natural. We do that in business. We do that in life. Let's try this. Give it a shot. See what happens. I'm all for that. Now, the interesting aspect of the pitch, the distance from the rubber on the mound to the plate is supposed to be 60 inches, 60 feet. But when
Yes.
they measured it out in the old days where somebody started pacing it off by their feet, by pacing it off, you see,
Yes.
they found out that the guy had big feet and it's 60 feet 6 inches. So the historical aspect of that is kind of cool. I mean, keep it there. And then the height of the mound is the other aspect because now you have pitchers who are like 6'5", and so they're coming around, so it's coming down, that sort of stuff. And then the technology of what I kind of appreciated when I first heard of technology in baseball was uh, the baseball tracker of when you hit the home run and how far it went. It's just how, and the arc and the speed off the bat. Because the old aspect of the guy hit a home run. Yeah, but he's in a smaller park than
Hmm.
the other parks because all the parks are different. So I like that aspect of here's a home run, but it went 364 feet in a 350-foot stadium. So the stat is there. Now we could also mention the fact of SABRA, SABRA, Society of American Baseball Research Association, something like that, where they're constantly looking at stats, and now they're doing their best to look at the older stats before in the old days,
Yeah.
and the most glaring example is the great Babe Ruth hitting 61 home runs, Hank Aaron hitting so many home runs. The During the drug era, the guys blasting home runs, blah 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 blah. The dead ball era, where the baseball was all mushy. The and then the researchers that go into the Negro leagues, where there was a guy named Josh Gibson, who was a catcher, and he hit more home runs than anybody. And now they're doing research at where he hit these home runs in the old parks across the country where they're played. And in some of the games, they actually played in the major league stadiums where they were banned to play against the whites, but they could play in the stadiums because the stadium owner knew this is revenue, man. I don't care who's coming in here. Buy, you want a hot dog too?
Exactly.
so,
Exactly.
so the research for this and the technology is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, they're trying to mix, the good old days to modern day, and of course, that's what it's all about. Baseball is one big statistic.
Right.
They tell you, well, 54% do this, 16% happens here, da 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 da, which is great if you're a geek. And that's what our baseball players are, geeks, as far
Yes.
as, just swinging the bat, hitting the ball, running to the bases. It's gotten so sophisticated, but that's all right. That's what the fans like. If that's the way they want to measure success, go right ahead.
And when I was in New York City going to the Yankees and the Mets games, a good buddy taught me how to do scoring on the scorebook. Remember the scorebook? And he taught me how to do it, and I started studying it. And supposedly, one of the best people who, I don't know who started doing the scoring, but one of the best people who I think he still teaches classes on it, was Keith Hernandez, the first baseman for the Mets. When he got into announcing, he would sit in the booth and he would do his own scoring. And everyone was so impressed the way he was doing it, colored pens and that sort of stuff. And I think there's a couple of videos out there. So a message to Keith Hernandez: if you're want a little sideline business, keep teaching how to do scoring on that, so you have that record of that game. Which leads me to another thing, but let me get a handful of popcorn here from Cracker Box Popcorn in Landers, Wyoming. There it is right here. All right. So, one of the ideas of baseball years ago, I still have it, and it's amazing that they don't do it, was a father, son, family go to a game. Okay, you go to a
Yes.
game, you have a good time. In the old days, it wasn't so much money. Now it's a lot of money. But you would go to the game. In the old days of VHS, if you could have gotten a copy of the game that you could put on your shelf and say, oh, here we are at the game. But when the cameraman would take the camera and go all slowly all around the audience, the stands, okay, so that you would have I guess it's now CDs or VHS or whatever it is now or something.
Hmm.
Uh, and you could look at it and say, there we are. We're there
Yeah.
at that game.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a lost art or a lost income flow for baseball. They just
Yeah.
didn't call me for free advice for $1.
Well, Doug, the neighbor, once again, it looks like it's our opportunity to go there and give them another $1 million idea.
Absolutely true, TK. I salute you.
Okay.
Yeah. So baseball is evolving. It's great. It's where it's going to go is terrific. And also the aspect of listening to this, baseball is gives you a micro vacation. Follow me. You got your work, you got your life, you got your teams. For 30 seconds during the day, you look at your team. Now you can do it on your cell phone. You can look at stats. You can look at who's pitching, where are they pitching, and it gives you for 30 seconds a micro vacation of taking you out of your hard efforts to support your family, your life. And here's a micro vacation. Now, also the stats: who's hitting, who's playing, who batting averages, home runs. These are numbers. They keep your mind sharp too. Didn't your third grade teacher drill into you? Math is everything. You know.
Oh, yes. Yes. And then in fourth grade, they said the same thing. Fifth grade. Then at
Yeah.
what, seventh grade, I just blocked it out.
Well, I stopped when they first said fractions. Fractions? What are fractions? A quarter of a third times an eighth. I don't know. Fractions. Put a dollar sign in front of it, and now I'm listening.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
So, anyway, El Paso Chihuahuas, minor league team, AAA minor league team for the San Diego Padres. I'm from El Paso. Let's get you a little update at the start of the season. Are you ready?
Yes,
You got your coffee. Okay, let's get our coffee here.
here we
Okay.
go.
hmm Get up and go juice. Okay. All right. So where's my baseball? There we go. El Paso Chihuahuas. They have a long, long history that we have covered in our past podcasts. All right. The manager is Pete Zamora. Okay. And they started off the season in Sacramento, and then they are playing a series right now in El Paso uh, against against Tacoma. Yeah, that's who they're there. Okay. Now, their catchers, now I always like following the catchers, are Rodolfo Duran and Anthony Villar. Okay. And uh, they're playing Sacramento. Yeah, they're at Sacramento right now, and they're 1-2, and they had a doubleheader yesterday. And what was the yesterday? No, yesterday at Tacoma, they had a doubleheader. They won 5-2 and 2-1. Okay, so then they go on to Albuquerque, and here's a couple of stats. Okay, so they've played 8 games. They've had 7 homers, and they're batting 265, and they've had 74 strikeouts. So the team average is 230. Okay, but their ERA, their pitching stat, is 3.25. Uh, they've allowed 4 home runs. They've hit 5 pitchers, and but they've struck out 63 teams. So they're and they're allowing the other team to bat 228. So they're starting their season, getting going, and the Chihuahuas are just doing great. They're got off to a nice start.
Well, good. Yes, that's all. That's all exciting to see how everybody's getting going for the first of the season. Fort Wayne Tin Caps had their first game on Friday
Yeah.
and, and against the Loons of Michigan. They're based in Grand Rapids. So
Uh-huh.
they have a game tonight at 7:30. They're in Fort Wayne at their new ballpark. They're downtown. So the stats are a little bit limited right now, but I know there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement because right now they are in first place because they have only played one game. So
That's first place.
first place, we're on. We're off to the series.
Only 2,000 more games to go.
That's right. That's right.
Hope lives in the minor leagues. TK, that's what I've got for today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I've got my Cracker Box popcorn with me right here from Landers, Wyoming. And Maxine, what a sweet gal. We did a happy camper in it. So it's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. The Possum Trot Studios, the new Possum Trot Studios is kind of coming together. Got a lot more work to do. Got too much junk with too much dust on it. But that's what I got for today. Play ball.
Aaron Go Brawl.